Just be out with us to the Norwegian Joy for a 7-day sailing to the Caribbean. In this video, we would like to share with you our personal pros and cons of the Norwegian Joy. We have sailed quite a lot, and in this video, we would like to share our personal pros and cons about Norwegian Joy to help you get the most out of your vacation. Just be out with us. Let's start with the obvious pros. This ship is fairly new. It was launched in 2017 and remodeled in 2019. It feels pretty modern and beautiful, and it is pretty spacious. The size is not, this is obviously not the biggest ship, but it feels just perfect, not too small and not too big. One of the big pros for me are the navigation screens. I am really bad with navigation, and I can find these navigation screens on every deck next to all elevators. Here it shows you where you are on the ship with the little dot. It shows you where the back of the ship is, where the front of the ship is, and the layout of all the decks, so you can easily find what you're looking for. Norwegian Joy offers 3 incredible features that we absolutely love. One of them is the Galaxy Pavilion. It is so much fun for the entire family, kids and adults. They offer VR games, different ones with sound effect, with the wind effect, and everything in between. Different games go by different time. Some games are 8 minutes long, some games are 20 minutes long, and a standard game is $8 per game. Or you can purchase a pass for 1 hour and experience most of the VR games.
There are also these cool touch to learn screens, and they're all interactive. So for example, you touch the screen, you have your dining, entertainment, onboard services, excursion, what's going on. They also offer it in different languages. So basically you can book your excursion. There's actually a card slot right here. It'll say once you click it, what type of excursion is available, and then you hit reserve. And then it says enter your key card right down here, and you can actually book. When it comes to dining and making reservations, some restaurants are more popular than others, and some are harder to get into than others. But with these touch to go screens, you basically touch the dining and you can see basically what time slots are available for what restaurant. Here are the list of the restaurants. Here, if you're not sure what floor the restaurant is on, you can map it, and it'll basically show you exactly where you are in relevance to where the restaurant is, which is a really cool feature. One thing we did notice about the ship is that it does not have a designated yoga center or stretching area inside their fitness center. In order for you to get that type of class or do that type of activity, you have to go upstairs on another deck to do so. Another thing we notice here on the Norwegian Joy is this restaurant behind us. It is a specialty restaurant. It is called the American Diner. Now, the odd thing about this restaurant is that it serves what the name basically signifies, American Diner, hot dogs, hamburgers, chili dogs, sandwiches. But the odd thing about that is that you can get all the exact same food downstairs in the Garden Cafe, and it's served every single time the cafe is open. So we found it odd that they would actually have a specialty restaurant that you have to pay separately. It doesn't include it to be complimentary when on this cruise. If you are a Haven guest, you are offered this dining for the first day of the cruise, and after that, you also have to pay. However, this diner is super awesome. It is a throwback from the 50s. All the waiters and waitresses are dressed. The only thing they're actually missing is roller skates, but they're actually dressed up in the outfits from the 50s, and it's a really cool diner. And one thing we do notice about this restaurant, it is empty most of the times.
We are now in the adult area. It is called Spice H2O. On my left hand side there is a bar and smoking area, and on my right hand side there is a gigantic jacuzzi. Well, we actually have a few cons about this area because the smoking area is right next to the jacuzzi, so I am sensitive to smoke, and whenever we attempted to relax in the jacuzzi, you can actually smell the smoke. this is a big deck, and in the evening they have dance classes. They had yesterday an awesome glow party, but during the day there is no entertainment. They don't even play music. And another con that is really bad for us, if you've been following us on Instagram, you see us soaking in the jacuzzi pretty much the entire day while the ship is at sea. Well, even though this jacuzzi is ginormous, it is a little bit too cold for us, so it would have been better to have two separate jacuzzis and have one a little bit colder and one a little bit warmer. Another con is that this jacuzzi has way too much chlorine. First of all, again, you can smell the chlorine as soon as you enter the area. So there is smoke and chlorine scent in the air. As soon as you get into the jacuzzi, I can actually feel once the droplets go on my face begins to burn. This is just how much chlorine is in that jacuzzi. And another thing is we actually got chemical burn. We noticed the first 2 days we were in the jacuzzi, and then our skin feels like it has a burn. And another thing, this entire area is actually covered with shades, so there is no option to be in the jacuzzi and be in the sun, and the jacuzzi is only under shade. There is only one pro for this adult area, well, at least for us, is that as soon as you come out from jacuzzi, there is a towel stand, and they do not enforce you to sign your towels in and sign the towels out, which is really convenient.
Another awesome feature here on the Norwegian Joy is the Speedway. It is an awesome racetrack. Yes, you heard me, a racetrack on the cruise. Google it. This is a winding track. They give you a helmet, they have a go-kart, and the go-kart can either have 2 people or 1 driver. Now, the way the pricing structure works, it's $15 for 8 minutes. And that means you can go around the track as much as you can for 8 minutes. It is super cool. If you have kids, obviously they do have a height restriction that your child has to be above. But if they're not into driving, you as the parent can drive, and it's only the charge for 1 driver. So only the driver pays, which is really cool. This track is awesome.
A big pro for me is a large canopy creating shade on deck 17 for the loungers. It's actually on both sides of the ship, overlooking the main pool area, so you can relax on your lounging chair in shade and still be in the main action. Norwegian Joy offers incredible entertaining options. I loved all the shows in the theater. Their Elements show is amazing. It is full production. You don't even know what to look at. Illusionists, acrobats, confetti or snow flying all over the place. It is amazing. Norwegian Joy offers amazing specialty dining restaurant. Right now we are in Ocean Blue. It is a seafood restaurant. We actually had dinner here for our specialty dining package. The only con that we found is that in all of their specialty dining restaurants, there is an upcharge for lobster order. So when we were sailing on other cruise ships, they were serving lobster tail inside main dining room at no additional charge. So we found it odd that for specialty dining restaurants that you're already paying extra, you still have to pay even more if you'd like to order a lobster tail. What we love about Norwegian in general, and Norwegian Joy is also part of it as well, is that they offer freestyle dining. That means they do not give you a set time slot where you can come in for your dinner, even for your complimentary dining options. You can come in to any restaurant whenever you like, except the specialty dining, of course. For the specialty dining, you do need to make reservations.
Cheers to all my drinkers out there. Let's talk drink packages. Now, if you're sailing on the Norwegian Joy and you have a drink package, awesome for you, because that means you'll be able to drink as much as you want while you're on your vacation. But here is the con. When you stop at Harvest Key, which is a private key for Norwegian, you will have to come out of pocket for drinks. When you are on the island, you cannot use the drink card that you use on board, which means you have a full day of drinking ahead of you, but you just have to come out of pocket for it. Cheers.
We are now in front of the social comedy club and nightclub. And boy, we have a few cons about this. First of all, currently on the Norwegian Joy, they have two comedians and they're both not good, again, in our personal opinion. Secondly, this club is really small, so you do need to make reservations to see those comedy shows. Next, the comedy shows repeat. So you have just two comedians that they do two PG shows and two adult shows, and they are being repeated throughout your sailing. Next, again, this is a nightclub as well, and the dance floor is really small, which could be pro and the con as well. When it's empty, when a few people dance, it already feels crowded and you kind of want to get on the dance floor. But when it's packed, it is packed. The service here on the Norwegian Joy is truly top notch. From the very embarkation day, as soon as you walk onto the ship, everyone is happy to see you, everyone greets you, even staff that does not work directly with you and just pass by you, still saying hello, asking if you're having a good time, if you're enjoying the ship. And during our specialty dining, that was really something special. When servers would bring you food, first of all, there are two, and they place food for me and Devan
At the same time.
simultaneously. They time each other, they look at each other, give each other a cue to place it, and they place an appetizer or your main course in front of you exactly at the same time.
Another con we noticed about this beautiful ship is normally we know that Irene is always the one that's cold. Well, on the ship, I am cold. I am freezing. So now I don't know if this is really a con or not. For some people, you guys love the cold. But on this ship, it is really, really cold. So maybe it's more of a tip, and we suggest you bring a light sweater or a light hoodie because you're going to need it, especially in the theater in the evening times. It gets really cold on this ship.
Nowadays, all cruise line offer apps, but I do not like NCL app for a few reasons. First of all, you cannot access the app before you get on the ship. You have to be connected to the ship's Wi-Fi, and your phone has to be in the airplane mode in order for you to access it. So if you would like to get familiar with the app and the layout of the ship before you get on board, it is not possible. Secondly, they do not list all the complimentary dining options. And lastly, unfortunately, you cannot make reservations via your app. You have to either go and make the reservation in person or call through the ship's phone. The staterooms here on the Norwegian Joy come with pros and cons. Well, one of the features that I like is the sign right here, and it's being turned on by a switch. So inside the room, I have do not disturb sign. Switch. Once I switch it, the light comes on, and I can turn on makeup room and the light comes on. One thing I don't like is that in order to turn on all the lights and even outlets is that you have to put in your room key in here. Without the room key, the light will not work, which seems to be okay, but the problem is once you leave the room, your devices cannot be charged without your room key being plugged in here. So a couple of more cons here is the closet here. There's only one closet in the stateroom, and inside there are shelves which are very difficult to access because they are tucked in the closet, and normally, right, you have your clothes here spread out, so you have to push everything to the side and come to the site in order to reach for your clothes, and especially if you can find something that becomes difficult. The feature that I really appreciate here on any of the Norwegian cruise ships is that they do print your itinerary every single day. So if you are not mobile savvy or don't want to use any technology, or still like to have that printed paper in your hand to look at what's going on the ship, here on the Norwegian Joy you can. And the last pro, don't mind the mess guys, is that in the bathroom there is enough shelves to spread out all your toiletries. Overall, our stateroom I think is well designed besides all those cons, and I really like the style of it as well. And every night we do get our towel animal. Look at this crab right here. I actually have not seen a lot of designs that they make here on the Norwegian Joy. One of my favorite features here on the Norwegian Joy is that the fact that the stuff is singing. You can hear there's washy songs and they make up songs all the time. I love it. So I really like the fact that Norwegian Joy has wash stations. They don't force you to wash your hands, but they encourage you by singing the washy songs. And not only that, what I noticed here, the staff sings even when they don't have to. So they just walk around dining room and they just sing songs. And even when they bring you coffee in the dining room or little pastries, they still sing songs, and some of the songs that they sing are so cute. I love it about Norwegian Joy. Another thing that we absolutely love about the Norwegian Joy is the food and food quality and variety. Here, even at the buffet, you can find pretty much everything for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and everything is so delicious. And yes, the dining room food is even better, but at the buffet here, it is so good that we've been eating dinner here pretty much every day.
And now our last awesome feature of the Norwegian Joy. This is laser tag, but it's not just your ordinary laser tag. This is a futuristic laser tag, and it's fun for the entire family. It's $9.95 per person. Again, the entire family can enjoy. It is amazing. It is structured and broken up into all different parts, different categories, and it's like amazing there. It only happens during the evening time, and that's because obviously it's a laser, so it has to be able to hit the target and be seen for it to be registered. And as you can see, to the right of me, there's a scoreboard with a blue team and a red team, and at the end of the game, it's all total. Who's gonna win?
These were our personal pros and cons of the Norwegian Joy. If you have sailed on the Norwegian Joy before, let us know in the comments what were your favorite features.
Or if you have any pros and cons you can add to our list, be sure to drop them in the comments below.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel because next we are heading on the MSC Seashore, and we will be publishing quite a few videos from that cruise ship as well. I'm Irina.
And I'm Devon. Just be out with us.